Unlock the hidden power of your third eye for unseen realities awaiting. I never expected a single dream to change everything. It was a night like no other, wrapped in darkness and lit by a peculiar moon. As I lay in bed, the world outside was silent, only the sound of my heartbeat echoed through the stillness. That's when it happened. A vision so vivid, so electric, that it shook me to my core. I saw colors that didn't exist, swirling landscapes that defied gravity, and whispers of ancient wisdom beckoning me closer. Doubt crept into my mind like shadows creeping across the wall. Who was I to unlock such secrets? I, an ordinary soul, grappling with mundane existence. But deep down, a longing stirred. I wanted to grasp the intangible, the truths hidden behind the veil of reality. I closed my eyes again, hoping for another glimpse. In my meditative state, strangeness enveloped me. The air was thick with energy, my skin prickling with an electrifying charge. I could hear it now, the soft rustle of leaves, a gentle breeze carrying messages from the universe. Around me, nature spoke in riddles. The distant thunder rolled like the heartbeat of the earth, and for a fleeting moment, I felt part of something larger, a tapestry woven with threads of fate. But questions lingered like smoke. What awaited me? Was this just a trick of my mind, or was there truly a gateway to another realm waiting to be opened? As I pondered this, a flicker caught my eye. A spark of light danced in the shadows, flickering like a candle that refused to be snuffed out. Heart racing, I leaned closer to the source, the thrill mingling with trepidation. Darkness and light mingled in a delicate balance, teasing at the edges of my perception. I felt a pull, a magnetic force that drew me onward. Could I really tap into this? Leave behind the ordinary? Images swirled again, so real and yet so elusive. What lay beyond that flickering light? A question hung in the air, unanswered, demanding to be explored. The world felt pregnant with possibility, and I found myself teetering at the brink of revelation. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The shimmer of light expanded, coalescing into a figure that danced at the edges of my vision. It was ethereal, gliding like a wisp of smoke yet solid enough to evoke both apprehension and wonder. Was I witnessing the manifestation of my thoughts, or had I inadvertently crossed into a realm uncharted? The atmosphere thickened around me, every breath filled with the scent of ancient forests and forgotten dreams. As I focused, the figure began to take form, a woman cloaked in a robe of starlight, her hair cascading like waterfalls of night. She moved with an elegance that spoke of deep wisdom, her presence radiating a warmth that enveloped me. "You've come seeking answers," she said, her voice a melodic whisper, laced with the weight of centuries. "But the path you tread leads not to certainty, but to myriad questions that will unfold like petals of a cosmic flower." I shivered at her words, feeling the gravity of my yearning. What is it that lies beyond this flickering light? How can I unlock what has been hidden? The woman offered a knowing smile, her eyes shimmering with the secrets of the cosmos. She gestured toward the light, and as I leaned closer, I saw it burning brighter, yet transforming, its glow morphing into scenes of vivid landscapes that pulsed with life. Crucial fragments of existence danced before me, a bustling marketplace in a vibrant city, the gentle waves lapping against a secluded shore, a quiet forest brimming with creatures stirring in the early dawn. "Every experience shapes your essence," she continued, "but pay no mind to the illusion of separateness. Fates intertwine, the realm is woven together through threads of connection. To unlock your third eye is not merely to see, but to discern the infinite relationships that govern all beings. Be mindful, for knowledge bears the weight of responsibility." I tried to absorb her words, my mind racing with implications. The expansive scenes beckoned, each stirring dormant emotions within me. I could feel my spirit reaching out, seeking validation in this tapestry where joy and sorrow intermingled. But how do I begin? The woman stepped closer, her hand lifting to point toward a wooden chest emerging from the light. Inside, you will find tools to aid you in understanding, symbols that resonate with your journey. But beware, you may also unearth fears that linger deep within you. With every heartbeat, I felt an undeniable pull toward the chest, and yet trepidation held me back. What secrets were locked away? Would I unveil parts of myself that were better left untouched? I took a step forward, my fingers grazing the cool edges of the chest, a connection sparking within me as I lifted the lid. Inside, nestled among vibrant stones and inscribed scrolls, lay a mirror, its surface clouded. As I gazed into it, strange, flickering reflections danced before me, a younger version of myself, laughter brightening my face, shadows of doubt looming nearby, tears mingling with moments of pure bliss. Each flicker revealed a chapter of my life, an unedited compilation of experiences that shaped my essence. Every layer of the mirror holds a truth, the woman said softly. Do you dare to see? The journey ahead will not be without pain, but within the sorrow lies the keystone to joy. What will you choose to reflect upon? I pondered her words, my heart fluttering with uncertainty. The path of acknowledgement felt daunting, yet the allure of understanding drew me closer. What revelations would emerge if I confronted my own shadows? Could that ignition lead me toward the awakening I so fervently sought? Furthermore, I wondered, in this intricate dance of light and dark, how would I reconcile the hidden joys mingled with hidden fears? The woman watched with patience, a reminder that my answers were caged within the depths of my own soul. That I took a deep breath, ready to explore the reflections before me, yet questions loomed larger. If glimpses of my life held both the burdens and blessings, what new revelations awaited beyond this moment? As I stared into the mirror's hazy surface, a vision flickered. Just out of reach, a whisper of what could be, reflected yet ungraspable, eliciting a yearning for the deeper truths buried within. The surface of the mirror shimmered, and for a fleeting instant, I glimpsed a path not yet traveled, a winding trail through a dense fog where light and shadow played in dissonance. The woman, still beside me, remained a steadfast presence, though her form seemed to merge with the light itself. I hungered for clarity, but clarity felt elusive, dancing just beyond my fingertips. Why does the journey of self-discovery require uncertainty? I whispered, grappling with the weight of her question upon my heart. Uncertainty is the cradle of growth, she replied, the warmth of her voice blanketing me like a soft embrace. It is in the not knowing that you will find the courage to leap. The third eye opens when one ventures into the unknown, unfurling the potential that lies dormant within. A shiver coursed through my spine, the idea sent ripples of both fear and exhilaration through me. With renewed determination, I leaned closer to the mirror, its muted surface inviting me to delve deeper. As I focused, the reflections coalesced. They drew me into a memory where laughter echoed in sun-drenched fields, but also where silence sunk like stones in my soul. Look closely, the woman urged. What do you see? I peered into my own eyes, recognizing the joy mingled with threads of longing. It was a tapestry rich with color, a dance of light, but also the shadows that seemed to whisper tales of lost moments and missed opportunities. The contrast felt like a language of its own, one that resonated at the very heart of my Baina call to harmony. Your spirit resonates with the symphony of existence, she explained, her voice gentle yet powerful. Within the ebb and flow of joy and sorrow lies the foundation of your true self. Embrace the dissonance, it will guide you. As I surrendered to the truth simmering within me, a new vision flickered for an image of a vast ocean bathed in twilight hues, waves crashing rhythmically against the shoreline. I felt drawn toward this scene, an inexplicable connection stirring within my chest. What lay beneath the surface, within the depths of that water? Hearken to the call of the unknown, the woman intoned, gesturing toward the pulsating image. The water holds memories long forgotten, the tides pull at the soul here, you may find both revelation and release. This time, trepidation morphed into intrigue. Could facing whatever lay beneath the surface of my consciousness cleanse the impurities I felt within? With a nod of my head towards the mirror, I took a resolute breath and dared to plunge into that familiar ocean. surrendering to its depths. As I imagined myself swimming, I noted the currents swirling around me, embracing me in their cool depths. I felt the stirrings of emotions, regrets, fears, and the vibrant colors of dreams yet to be fulfilled. With each stroke, I understood that this journey was intricate. It held the potential for renewal alongside the necessity of confronting discontent. What is it that holds you back? The woman's voice echoed, resonating through the water, as doctrines of past failures surfaced like ghostly apparitions. What stone must you lift to see the treasures waiting below? I paused, grappling with images of self-doubt and regret, those unspoken truths I had buried so deeply that even I had forgotten their names. The mere act of acknowledgement was transformative, lifting a weight I had worn unconsciously for far too long. I was already unlocking parts of myself, yet an unsettling question loomed behind my reflections: would simply confronting my fears grant me the discernment I sought? Or was it merely a stepping stone to a deeper mystery that perhaps true awakening resides not in answers, but within the questions themselves? As this notion washed over me, I spied a ray of light filtering through the ocean's depths. Could it be an invitation to explore further, to transcend the stillness of fear and voyage into the unknown? My heart raced with the potential of what awaited, yet the tension of the unresolved enveloped me. With a final glance at the mirror's depths, I emerged, gasping for air, but filled with an aching desire to dive deeper still. The woman smiled wistfully, her ethereal form reflected within the shimmering waters. Each question you pose is a key, each answer reveals the labyrinth of your soul. Seek not to merely uncover, but to understand the tapestry woven from light and shadow. The journey thrives on the possibilities yet unseen, and in that moment, I became acutely aware of a spiritual truth. Perhaps the quest for awakening lay not in the destination but in the relentless pursuit of understanding what it meant to be whole amidst the fragments of existence. What truths would emerge if I allowed the reflections of my past to guide me into the future, if I embraced, rather than feared, the unknown? In the depths of my spirit, the quest had only just begun. The ocean's surface rippled in a dance of light, illuminating the soft mists that lay just beyond the shore. As I stood there, half buried in the sand, breathless from my plunge and overcome by the sensations flooding back, I instinctively clutched at my here-tan anchor to my essence. The woman's presence lingered like a gentle breeze, urging me to embrace the fullness of this moment. I felt her energy entwining with the whispers of the waves, beckoning me towards the horizon where sea met sky. Look closer, she said, her voice blending harmoniously with the sound of the surf. The horizon holds more than you can perceive. With a subtle inclination, I directed my gaze toward the glistening expanse before me. The twilight sky melted into a palette of purples and golds, swirling clouds above hinting at a celestial dance. Within that horizon, something stirred, a pulsation that resonated deep within me. As the waves lapped at my feet, I felt the resonance of an ancient rhythm, a heartbeat that mirrored the struggles and joys ingrained in my existence. What do you seek? The woman inquired, her presence grounding as I attuned myself to the moment. What treasures lie within your yearning? I search for understanding, I admitted, my voice barely above the whispers of the tide. Understanding of self and the mysteries that guide us. Then follow the whispers of your heart, she urged, her form shimmering with encouragement. They may lead you to encounters that unveil the truths hidden in plain sight. And as if answering her call, I found myself walking along the beach, the grains of sand shifting beneath my feet, each step an invitation to delve deeper into my consciousness. The salty air caressed my skin, while the ocean's breeze whispered secrets of the past. I began to slow my pace, observing the shells strewn along the shore, each piece a fragment of a story waiting to be uncovered. That I knelt down, cradling a conch shell in my palm. Its intricate spiral echoed the complexity I felt within, layers of experiences waiting to be unearthed. Closing my eyes, I listened intently, inviting the echo of my heart to resonate within. A pulsing memory flickered, a moment from my childhood, vibrant with laughter, but shrouded in the ache of separation that sometimes lingered afterwards. Every echo carries a lesson, the woman stated softly, her voice a soothing balm that wrapped around my unearthed memories. What does this recall teach you about the essence of joy you seek? Tears immediately welled in my eyes as I pondered, feeling the blurriness of sorrow mixing with the clarity of joy. It reminds me of the beauty in connection, I replied, my voice thick with emotion. But the fear of losing that connection often clouds my heart. Therein lies the paradox, she mused. To embrace joy is to also embrace its impermanence. How do you navigate the space between love and loss? I pondered her words deeply, realizing the magnitude of what she proposed. The treasures of my soul rested not only in joyous moments but also in the full acceptance of their fleeting nature. To walk courageously within that space, I finally breathed, is to honor both the light and the shadow. As I rose to my feet, the conch shell still warm in my grasp, another vision unfurled within the depths of my consciousness, a pathway illuminated by lanterns of golden light stretching toward a vast forest. Each lantern flickered with possibility, mysteries to unravel, stories to tell. I felt a pull, a desire to venture into that wooded realm, to seek what awaited beneath the canopy of ancient trees. Follow your intuition, the woman encouraged, as though sensing the shift in my spirit. The forest holds wisdom beyond what your eyes can see. Venture, and allow the dance of light and shadow envelop you, and so, propelled by a mix of anticipation and reverence, I stepped onto the path leading into the forest, leaving the shoreline behind. Each step was a promise, a testament to the courage stoked within me. But as I ventured forth, questions blossomed like wildflowers in my mind. What revelations would emerge from the shadows? Would I find the resonance of truth amidst the tangled roots of my journey? A profound realization began to settle in my bones. Every encounter within this mystical realm would invite me to challenge the conventional understanding of my existence, leading me to unveil unseen realities that awaited in the sacred embrace of the unknown. Would I have the fortitude to navigate through the dark to find my light? With the whispers of the forest beckoning, I took a breath, surrendering to the unfolding and embracing the uncertainty that lay before me. The adventure was still unwritten, alive with the promise of wisdom, and the interplay of questions remained unquenchably alive in my heart. What awaited me in the heart of this forest, and how would it further unlock the essence of my spirit? The journey beckoned, a vibrant tapestry of experience yet to be woven. As I stepped further into the embrace of the forest, the air thickened with the scent of damp earth and pine. Sunlight filtered through the dense foliage, casting patterns of light and shadow that danced on the forest floor, igniting a sense of wonder within me. Each rustle of leaves and chirp of distant birds played its part in the symphony of life surrounding me, amplifying the rhythm of my own heartbeat. The path twisted and turned like a winding river, inviting me deeper into the heart of the woodland. I found myself captivated by the grandeur of the towering trees, their ancient trunks carved with the marks of time and stories untold. There was a hidden strength in their stillness, a wisdom that seemed to pulse through the very air I breathed. As I walked, I became acutely aware of how each step seemed to resonate with a growing inner urgency. I paused by a gnarled oak, its branches wide open as if to cradle the sky. Leaning against its sturdy trunk, I closed my eyes, letting the whispers of the forest wash over me. I felt the heartbeat of the earth merging with my own, reverberating through my being. Who are you? I murmured to myself, seeking answers amid the chaos of my thoughts. Was I merely a traveler lost in these woods, or was my spirit entwined within the fabric of this ancient world? Identity is a tapestry woven by experience. A soft voice interrupted my contemplation. I opened my eyes to see a figure emerging from the shadows. A man with a wild mane of hair and wise, twinkling eyes stepped into the dappled light. He wore a robe adorned with symbols unfamiliar yet alluring, exuding an aura of deep connection to the forest. Your quest aligns with the essence of the third eye, he declared, gesturing toward his own forehead. It perceives the unseen beyond this world and the confines of your mind. The third eye? I echoed, curiosity igniting within me. I had only briefly come across such concepts in passing spiritual literature. What does it reveal? Close your eyes, he instructed gently. Open your heart. Let your spirit awaken to the currents of intuition. There are whispers within the stillness that can guide you to unveiled realities. I followed his guidance, allowing the hush of the forest to envelop me fully. In that quietude, I felt a surge of energy rise from the depths of my being, tingling through my fingertips and igniting my senses. It was as if the veil separating the physical world from the ethereal was gently lifting, revealing flickers of light snippets of memories, archetypes dancing on the periphery of my consciousness. Embrace the visions, the man encouraged, his voice a gentle reminder to lean in. With each pulse of energy, I began to see shadowy figures, vibrant colors, cascading symbols of ancient wisdom flourished before my mind's eye. They spoke of rebirth, cycles unbroken, and the interconnectedness of all that is. What do they mean? I breathed, overwhelmed by the revelations unfolding within me. They are the imprints of experiences waiting to be recognized, he replied. Each symbol and vision ignites the power of your third eye, urging you to acknowledge and harness the unseen forces shaping your existence. In a rush of clarity, I began to connect the pieces within the kaleidoscope of experiences, moments of love and loss merging into a swirl of understanding. The currents of my past felt alive with potential as I yearned to more deeply comprehend their essence. But how do I nurture this gift? I inquired, my heart racing at the prospect of uncovering more layers of myself. By acknowledging the shadows without fear, by exploring the realm of your dreams and intuitions, he instructed, his gaze steady and wise. This journey may lead to deeper truths, but remember, the path unfolds in layers, revealing the power of your heart one step at a time. Finding strength in his words, I nodded, aware that uncertainty and questions were vital aspects of my growth. The forest seemed to encircle me with a sense of companionship, urging me onward. As the man faded into the shadows, the forest's whispers grew raucous in my ears. Yet, amidst the chaos, a single, poignant realization struck me: the logs of my past and the vines of the present intertwined with the veils of potential futures waiting to be unfurled. What truths might my third eye reveal as I continue to traverse this uncharted territory? With new understanding igniting my spirit, I resumed my journey through the labyrinth of trees. Each step was a reaffirmation of my commitment to discovery and a quest for wisdom. The forest was more than a backdrop, it was alive with revelation, a realm inviting me deeper into the heart of what it means to be fully alive. What would unfold as I embraced the mystery of my inner world? And how would it illuminate the landscape of my existence? The questions lingered like mist, entwined with the path ahead. The air thickened as I continued deeper into the forest, the canopy above a tapestry of green and gold. Each rustle carried the weight of secrets, each ray of light that broke through seemed to highlight another fragment of a truth waiting to be unveiled. My senses were heightened, an intoxication from the fusion of the natural world with the depths of my own being. As I navigated through the undergrowth, a shift in the atmosphere around me caught my attention. The silence grew dense, like the forest holding its breath. I ventured further still, my heart pounding with both trepidation and anticipation, wondering if I was on the brink of another profound encounter. Suddenly, I heard a soft, melodic hum resonating from a nearby clearing, a pure sound that seemed to beckon me forward. Drawn to the source, I pushed aside the ferns and found myself standing before an elegant glade bathed in golden light. In the center, a small pond reflected the sun's beams, shimmering with diamond-like brilliance. Approaching the water's edge, I knelt, mesmerized by the sparkling surface. As I gazed into the depths, the image altered, transforming into visions of swirling images and colors. Faces of those I loved and lost drifted in and out, intertwined in delicate threads of light, twinkling like distant stars. It felt like an invitation to reconnect, to remember the ties of love that bound us even in absence. Look closer, a voice whispered from behind me, softer than a breeze yet heavy with significance. I turned to find an ethereal woman, her presence luminous, adorned in flowing robes that swirled like the pond's reflections. Her eyes sparkled with wisdom that transcended time and space. In this water lies a mirror for your soul, she continued, encouraging me to breathe slowly, to relax the barriers of my mind. It reflects the depths of love, loss, and the lessons woven through your existence. What do you see? I see faces, I replied, my voice just above a whisper. Memories of laughter and tears, moments of joy interspersed with pain, each emotion anchors you in your humanity, she replied, her voice reverberating through the air. To embrace them is to embrace yourself fully. The third eye thirsts for understanding these layers of experience, for therein lies your unique power. As I watched the reflections swirl and shift, I felt a surge of energy, a familiar warmth. It dawned on me that these visions were not mere memories, they were keys to unlocking deeper insights about my journey. I saw moments where my choices had diverged, paths I had hesitated to follow, all radiating threads of possibility, but how do I engage with this gift? I asked, yearning for direction amidst the swirling images. The first step is to cultivate presencito. Sit with your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Allow the current of emotion to flow freely, for it is in acceptance your true power resides, she instructed, her gaze unwavering. You must learn to respect the ebb and flow of your heart's wisdom. Nodding, I felt a sense of calm envelop me, the models of my life unfolding like leaves in the wind. And when the darkness comes, darkness is merely an absence of light. It is within that void that the most profound revelations often bloom, she replied, her voice steady. Embracing darkness does not mean succumbing to it, instead, it means allowing the light within you to shine through, illuminating the lessons hidden therein. A moment lingered before her form began to shimmer, the pond's surface rippling as if mirroring her departure. Yet, her essence remained, etched in my memory like a sacred promise. Returning my gaze to the pond, clarity began to dawn. Each reflection was a reminder of my own resilience, the mosaic of my experiences woven together through threads of love and purpose. I recognized these encounters as not merely external manifestations but as integral parts of my journey towards unveiling the enigma of my spirit. Rising from my kneeling position, I took a deep breath, ready to embody the lessons I had gained as I stepped further into the forest's depths. But as I turned to leave, a thought struck me, unbidden yet powerful. How could I fully awaken the potential of my third eye if I continuously glanced back at the past, rather than embracing the unfolding journey before me? The whisper of the wind through the trees seemed to carry my unanswered questions along with it, curling around me like an invitation to explore deeper yet. What wonders awaited if I dared to align with both the light and glory of the past, and seize the opportunities blossoming within the present? How could I deepen my connection to this illuminated path brimming with unseen realities? The forest responded in murmurs, a symphony of possibility urging me onward with every step I took. The gentle hum of the forest embraced me as I ventured deeper, each step an exploration into the unknown. Sunbeams filtered through the foliage, creating a patchwork of light and shadow upon the forest floor, echoing the complexity of thoughts swirling in my mind. The ethereal woman's words danced in my consciousness, steering my heart towards the present moment, yet I felt a pull, a beckoning from the memories that lingered like echoes of laughter amid the trees. As I continued on my path, the vibrant colors of the forest seemed to pulse in rhythm with my own heartbeat. The air thickened, sweetened by the fragrance of blooming wildflowers that lined my journey, their petals swaying as if participating in an ancient ballet. The whispers of the forest guided me deeper, invoking a childlike curiosity within. What more existed here that I had yet to discover? It was then that I stumbled upon a weathered stone altar, partially covered by vines and moss, standing defiantly in solitude among the trees. Intrigued, I approached and observed the symbols carved into its surface, spirals, circles, and what appeared to be a likeness of an eye, all etched with care by hands long since faded into the annals of time. Kneeling before the altar, I instinctively reached out to touch the cool, rough surface, feeling a jolt of energy course through my fingers. As I did, flashes of insight flickered before me, visions of those who had come before, each moment brimming with intent, seeking connection, wisdom, or perhaps solace. I was reminded of the cyclical nature of existence, the spirits of the past intertwined with the present, impacting the tapestry of life in immeasurable ways. Where are you? A faint, yet resonant voice broke through the silence, wrapping around my heart. My gaze darted around, perplexed, until it settled upon the ground. There, nestled in the roots of a mighty oak, was a small creaturia fox, its fur as brilliant as the autumn leaves. Its eyes held a depth of knowledge, flickering with mischief, yet unearthly wisdom. You have come seeking answers, the fox announced, its tone playful yet rich, resonating with an echo of truth. But you must first awaken to the riddles surrounding you. The past teaches, but it is the present where your true power lies. Do you understand? I feel lost amidst the waves of memories, I confessed, feeling their weight tugging at my spirit like a tide pulling back into the ocean. How can I embrace the present with such shadows trailing behind? With a tilt of its head, the fox seemed to contemplate my dilemma, then continued, to embrace the present is to dance with your shadows. They are not enemies but guides, illuminating the spaces you fear to tread. Each moment you inhabit now is a spark of potential. Embrace it, and watch the past reshape its form as you do. As the fox spoke, I sensed the forest vibrate with energy like a heartbeat, resonating with each word. The air shifted, electric and alive. What must I do? I asked, my breath quickening. Breathe, the fox instructed, its eyes intensifying in clarity. Open your third eye, the window to your soul's hidden landscapes. It sees beyond, connecting you to possibilities tethered in time. Engage with the present wholeheartedly, for the answers you seek blossom only in consciousness. Look, listen, and feel. As if in response to its guidance, I settled into a meditative posture upon the stone altar, planting my feet firmly against the earth, allowing a cascade of breaths to wash over me. Each inhale filled my lungs with the essence of nature, while every exhale released lingering doubts. The world around me faded, replaced by the gentle rhythm of my heartbeat syncing with the heartbeat of the universe. In that moment of connectedness, colors intensified, sounds grew clearer, and within my mind's eye, the visions surged forth, abstract shapes and symbols swirling, revealing stories yet unwritten. A mural of my own creation flickered, drawing lines between the experiences of my past and whispering of possibilities waiting to emerge. Every heartbeat became a question. Pulsating with potential, what paths awaited me if I embraced love instead of loss? What transformations could arise from vulnerability? As the questions folded in upon themselves, deep within me arose a profound knowing, perhaps awakening my third eye was not solely about gaining insight but rather about inviting a fuller acceptance of the present. A rush of joy enveloped me. I realized the forest was not merely a setting for my journey, but also a participant in my transformation, revealing clues to engage with life's mysteries on a deeper level. As the fox watched, an understanding dawned. It was time to unfurl, to explore the vast landscape of now. Rising once more, I locked eyes with the fox, gratitude spilling forth unbidden. Thank you for guiding me toward clarity. In response, the fox tilted its head, as if pondering its own reflections. The journey is yours to carve, but remember, every choice creates ripples within the vast continuum. Every moment is alive with potential, woven into the greater fabric of existence. Seek the unseen and embrace the shadowlight as a partner, not a replacement. With that, the fox turned and darted into the underbrush, leaving me with a swirl of questions echoing in my heart, whispers of the infinite resonating through the woods. How could I embrace both the luminosity of the present and the depths of my past? What sacrifices might I need to make to pursue a path uncharted? Could I embrace the reality of my experiences, transforming the shadows into allies that illuminated the way forward? As the echoes of its guidance faded into the embrace of the trees, I stepped back into the soft glow of sunlight filtering down, each ray a call to awaken. The forest whispered of new beginnings and unseen realities waiting, drawing me onward into the depths of my unfolding journey. The forest seemed to breathe alongside me, a living being intertwined with my own essence. A symphony of rustling leaves played in the background, mingling with the symphony of thoughts blossoming within. As I journeyed further, I could feel the dynamism of life around me shifting. It was as if the trees, the earth, even the air itself were imbued with purpose, urging me to delve deeper into this sacred realm of potentiality. Following an instinctive thread pulling me forward, I began to notice peculiar markings on the trees, symbols mimicking those etched on the stone altar. Intrigued, I brushed my fingers against the rough bark, feeling the stories hidden in their knots and rings. Each tree stood as a witness to time's passage, like guardians of wisdom whispering secrets. I closed my eyes for a moment, hoping to attune to their ancient voices, inviting their guidance into my restless heart. A cool breeze swept through the clearing, carrying an unmistakable scent, fragrant yet elusive. It tugged at my memory, remnants of familiar places, laughter shared, love once lost. Yet instead of melancholy, it filled me with an uncanny sense of anticipation. With each step forward, I felt the connection to the past threading into the present, a unique tapestry being woven anew. As I meandered deeper, a flash of movement caught my eye. There, darting between the trees, was a vivid blue butterfly, iridescent wings catching the light, an embodiment of transformation. I paused, captivated by its intricate dance, an embodiment of the delicate balance between fragility and resilience. It flitted toward a cluster of radiant flowers, beckoning me to follow. I trailed behind, observing the way it landed gracefully upon a petal, drawing nectar as though it were drinking from the very essence of life itself. I pondered its journey, realizing how it metamorphosed from a humble caterpillar into this magnificent creature, unrestricted and free. Was there a lesson here about my own evolution? Could the shadows of my past serve as fertilizers for my own blossoming? As if sensing my thoughts, the butterfly took flight again, leading me onwards. I felt my heart quicken with every beat, pulsating with the promise of discovery. The further I ventured, the more alive the forest became. The symphony of chirping birds heightened, each note a call to awaken curiosity. I could sense the deeper mysteries unfolding, layers of reality nestled within this very space, waiting for discovery. Then, I stumbled upon a small, rippling brook, its waters crystal clear, reflecting the sky above. The sound it produced was soothing, nurturing, like a lullaby carrying age-old wisdom. I sat on the bank, dipping my fingers in, feeling the coolness wash away remnants of doubt, the flow of the water mirroring the flow of thoughts that had once held me captive. As I gazed into the ripples, visions began to arise within, images unclear yet compelling. They morphed and formed, revealing glimpses of possibilities, a path illuminated by intuitive choices, a journey colored by authenticity. What new horizons could emerge if I remained present and open-hearted? Who might I become if I truly embraced the unknown? Amidst the shifting reflections appeared a figure, a woman cloaked in light, reminiscent of the ethereal being whose words had guided my earlier steps. Her face radiated serenity, and the aura surrounding her felt like a warm embrace. "You've come far on your quest," she spoke, her words resonating like chimes resonating in harmony with the brook's melody. "But the most profound understanding lies not in seeking answers, but in inviting questions." I echoed, my thoughts tumbling. "What do I seek beyond this journey?" "Seek the unseen," she replied, gesturing toward the canopy of trees above, where shadows shifted and twinkled as light flirted with dusk. "Within and around you, endless realities swirl, all waiting for a seeker brave enough to find them. The key to unlocking them lies in your willingness to ask, to explore every facet of your being. What if every shadow be your companion? What wisdom do they carry?" Her reply stirred a storm of thoughts within, questions dancing like fireflies against the backdrop of dusk. What shadows lingered in my past, and how could I converse with them? Would I dare to welcome the unfathomable into my reality? As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in nebula-like colors, I felt a profound sense of gratitude swelling within me. Each encounter, each lesson learned, felt like threads weaving into my journey, shaping the tapestry of who I was destined to become. With renewed purpose, I rose from the brookside, ready to embrace both the luminosity of the present and the echoes of shadows past. Yet, even as the excitement drummed in my chest, uncertainty glimmered on the edge of the horizon, urging me to look closer into the unfolding mysteries. What undiscovered truths awaited in the shadows? What new realities lingered just beyond my understanding? And could I truly harness the power within to awaken and illuminate them? These questions wrapped around my heart, compelling me to step boldly into the growing dusk, where the greatest revelations were yet to be unveiled. As I ventured into the twilight of the forest, the fading light seemed to draw out new life from the shadows. Each step felt heavy with expectation, as if the ground beneath was an ancient manuscript, inscribed with all the secrets I had yet to decipher. Birds called out in the dusk, their melodies morphing into a poignant reminder of my own heart's longing for truth. The woman cloaked in light lingered in my mind, her voice a gentle anchor to a storm of questions that spun within me. Shadows danced closer as the sun surrendered to the darkness, morphing the familiar landscape into a realm of possibilities. Would I dare to move deeper, to confront what hid beyond sight? A whisper of instinct, like a soft breeze, nudged me forward, pulling me toward the heart of the forest. The scenery shifted with the deepening night. The trees, grand custodians of time, stood still yet vigilant in their watch. It was as though they were waiting for me to unveil the truth they guarded. As I pressed on, I noticed a trail of luminescent moss guiding my path, glowing with an otherworldly light that seemed to pulse in rhythm with my own heartbeat. Was this a sign? An invitation to trust what lay hidden before me? I continued down the path, enchanted by the glow and the air thick with anticipation. The sounds of the forest started to morph, the rustle of leaves and the trickle of water blended into a gentle hum, a language spoken in vibrations. My senses sharpened, and I recognized the beauty in being attuned to the unknown. There, nestled among the roots of a time-worn oak, I discovered a series of stones, each one marked with intricate carvings that echoed the symbols inscribed on the trees. Kneeling closer, I traced my fingers over their surfaces and felt the energy pulsating beneath my fingertips, a warmth that traveled through me like a river of light, igniting my spirit. Suddenly, the night air shimmered, and from the depths of the forest emerged a figure. It was a man, clad in dark robes, his eyes glinting with an ancient wisdom that transcended time. "You followed the glow," he remarked, his voice echoing like a distant thunder, rich and full with insights yet to be revealed. "But the path forward requires more than light, it demands that you confront the shadows within. They are the keys to your true power. What do you mean?" I asked, still focused on the stones, their surface drawing me deeper into the mystery. "Why must I come face to face with my shadows? They are guides cloaked in the fabric of fear," he explained, a knowing smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. "The unanswered questions, the buried past, they hold fragments of untapped strength and understanding. When you embrace them, you reclaim your narrative, allowing light to spill into every crevice of your being." In that moment, I felt a wave of emotions surge, a mix of fear and exhilaration. How could I face the uncharted territories of my heart and mind? What jewels of wisdom lay nestled among the shadows? The extraordinary and the ordinary began to intertwine in an intricate dance of revelations. "Remember, the answers you seek are not in the void of darkness but interwoven with the light of acceptance," he added, gesturing toward the forest floor that shimmered with potential. "Illuminate your shadows. Invite them to dance with the light that you are." With his words resonating in the depths of my soul, I stood up, my heart thrumming with the understanding that exploring my shadows was not an act of retreat but a courageous foray into empowerment. I was reminded of the butterfly; its metamorphosis was born of necessity. Likewise, perhaps my own evolution awaited in fully embracing that which I had feared or ignored. That I took a deep breath, feeling the earthy aroma awaken my senses. As I did so, I remembered the figure in the brook, the adorned woman in light. Was she a manifestation of the wisdom period? Or merely a guide to uncover the depths of my own heart? What lay beneath the surface, waiting for my recognition? The forest embraced me in an emerald cocoon, beckoning me to dive deeper. And with that intention, I whispered into the stillness, "What are my shadows, and how can they lead me to truths yet unclaimed?" The night held its breath, cradling my inquiry as the stars began to flicker, hints of promise igniting the vast darkness. That I felt a bridge forming within, the connection between light and shadow, possibility and reality. The path ahead would not unravel easily, nor would enlightenment be a destination. I ventured forth, ready to face the shadowed whispers of my past, knowing they were not mere echoes, but vital voices longing to be recognized. What wisdom lived in those shadows? Would they guide me toward deeper understanding, or reveal truths too daunting to confront? The journey persisted, unfolding with each brave step into the unknown. And with a heart full of wonder, I stepped into the night, ready to discover what lay hidden for me in the darkness, in the very shadows that shaped my being. In the stillness of the forest, where moonlight poured through the canopy above like a soft, silver mist, I found myself at a crossroads, a sacred space where shadows and light intertwined, forming a pathway of transformation. Each whispered breeze seemed to cradle my questions, fostering them until they bubbled to the surface with an urgency I could no longer ignore. What awaited me in the depths of my own untamed heart? It was time to embrace that which had long lingered in the corners of my being. As I stood in this clearing, the figure cloaked in dark robes remained present, a guardian of my revelations. No longer was I merely an observer in this dance of existence, I was now a participant, a seeker ready to embrace duality, ready to uncover the truth that my shadows had sheltered for far too long. "Awaken your third eye," he urged, his voice resonating through the tranquil night. True awakening is seldom linear, it demands the courage to question, to unearth, and to liberate the fragments of your soul intertwined with both joy and sorrow. I closed my eyes, breathing deeply, inviting the stillness of the night to envelop me. With each breath, I imagined a golden light swelling within, a vessel bursting with courage. I visualized the third eye inner window opening gently, revealing the landscapes of my consciousness to unfold before me. The darkness was not to be feared but embraced, it was fertile ground for growth. Suddenly, vivid images danced before my mind's eye. A myriad of memories, both joyful and painful, began to swirl like leaves caught in the wind. I saw moments of love, laughter, and loss. I remembered the faces of those who had shaped my journey, the wise friend who taught me courage, the parent who had shared unconditional love, and the teacher who had ignited my sense of wonder. Yet, trapped within the beauty were shadows, the guilt, regret, and unfulfilled dreams that had trailed me like loyal companions, each holding lessons I had yet to acknowledge. Face them, the figure implored, his eyes gleaming with encouragement. Let your heart speak to what you have repressed. Only then will you understand their significance and your own power, and so, I began to converse with my shadows. I surrendered to the vulnerability, allowing the emotions I had contained to rise like water breaking through a dam. I felt the weight of the burdens I had carried, but this time, I didn't resist. I held the grief close, honoring the tears that flowed and the memories that surged like a tide within, raw, potent, and unfiltered. As I embraced my darkest fears, the shadows transformed. I recognized them not as adversaries but as teachers, illuminating the path toward my authentic self. The sorrow softened, revealing the golden threads: wisdom, resilience, and courage that had woven the fabric of who I was becoming. Each acknowledgement opened the doorway to higher understanding. The reflections of my life began to coalesce. I could see how every wound had fostered compassion, how every moment of uncertainty had forged strength. With this expanding awareness, a profound revelation washed over me. Path to awakening embraced not only the light but the ability to embrace my full self, with grace and acceptance. The forest swirled around me as I opened my eyes, the bark of the trees alive with the stories they had witnessed. The figure before me transformed, merging with the patterns of the forest, the dance of light intermingling with shadow. You have discovered the alchemy of souls, he proclaimed, his voice weaving through the leaves like a gentle breeze. In every fragment of yourself lies the potential for rebirth. The third eye not only sees the unseen, it holds the keys to harmonizing every thread of existence. Do not shy from the shadows, honor them, for they are integral to your journey. In that moment, an overwhelming sense of peace enveloped me, a tidal wave of acceptance flowing freely through my being. I understood now that my journey was not a solitary lament but a shared experience, a divine tapestry woven through the entire universe. The pain, the joy, the light, and the shadow, they were my sacred allies, urging me toward purposeful connections, probing questions, and an ever-expanding embrace of life. As I stepped back into the luminous glow of the forest, a gentle wind kissed my cheeks, echoing the wisdom that resided within. I was not just an observer, I was a creator and architect of my reality, both crystalline and shadowed, a being of unfathomable potential, and in that serene night, I felt the universe cradle me, whispering softly, awareness is the sacred dance of creation, where every question holds the seed of enlightenment. You are both the seeker and the sought. Embrace the journey, for it is yours alone, and every step unveils the truth that resonates deep within. With an open heart, I ventured forth, transformed, illuminated by both the dark and the light, a testament that awakening is not merely a destination, but a beautiful, intricate path woven with endless questions and vibrant possibilities. The journey had only just begun. In the whispers of the universe, I found my truth. I was both the light and the shadow, entwined in a magnificent dance of becoming, forever transformed by the journey within.